Chapter 4, Special Skill. The lightning rat was still in shock after being brought back to life. However, it soon regained consciousness that time. After a second of hesitation, the lightning rat dashed toward the huge insect as commanded. The huge insect was infuriated, since its prey had escaped twice from its mouth. When the lightning rat was about to arrive, the huge insect spat out a sort of white secretion that spread out like a spider's web, completely trapping the lightning rat. Once its prey had been captured, the huge insect wiggled over and tore the lightning rat apart with the sharp claws. Revive. Attack, again. Su Ping brought the lightning rat back to life immediately and told it to strike at once. In just a blink, the lightning rat had been brought back to life again and killed by the huge insect over and over. At the 8th time it rushed on to face the web spat out by the giant insect. The lightning rat flashed over and disappeared on the spot in an instant, only to re-emerge somewhere further apart. Thunder flash. Su Ping shivered from fear. Was the ghost laughing? Was that one of the 10 special skills for astral pets of the Thunder family, Thunder Flash? Su Ping wondered if he was hallucinating. How could a lightning rat at the first rank comprehend a special skill of the Thunder family that was so rare it was unimaginably precious? Su Ping was surprised and confused. Not even all of the advanced astral pets of the Thunder family, such as those of the 7th or 8th rank, could master a top-level special skill of such rarity. Besides, this lightning rat was just average, even poor, so to speak. The lightning rat might not even be able to learn the middle-rank pet skills of the Thunder family, not to mention comprehend the special skills. Su Ping kept his attention on the fight to observe. After the sudden rush, the lightning rat came close to a side of the huge insect in the twinkling of an eye. The lightning rat had found a perfect soft spot. Lightning was generated around its body as the lightning rat smashed into the soft flesh on the side of the huge insect. The huge insect fell to the ground immediately. There were some burns at its fleshy spot. However, the insect was not yet entirely incapacitated. Instead, stimulated by the sharp pain, the insect began to twist and turn violently. Soon, it crawled back up and launched a strike at the lightning rat at a faster speed. Having released all the energy, the lightning rat was tired, so it was moving slowly. It died again after the huge insect strike that trapped it. Revive, Su Ping said quickly. The lightning rat came into being on the ground again. It was no longer confused and puzzled as before, as if it had gotten used to this fresh start after withstanding a short period of pain. Faced with this traumatized insect, before Su Ping gave any orders, the lightning rat had dashed over to continue the unfinished battle. Attack, injury, death, and revival. After more than a dozen rounds, the huge insect finally fell, dying with anger and unwillingness because it could no longer defeat the never-dying lightning rat. In the latter rounds, Su Ping never saw the thunder flash again. It seemed that such an attack was only a flash in the pan. He felt sorry and a bit disappointed. That being said, he knew that as long as what he saw was real, then the lightning rat could do it again in the future, since it had already succeeded once. Having taken care of the giant insect, Su Ping was able to catch a break. At the very least, he wouldn't have to be eaten up by the giant insect and experience that disgusting way of dying. Now I see that this place is dangerous indeed, but the training is productive. Su Ping took a look at the lightning rat sprawled on top of the giant insect, exhausted. After the little guy was brought back to life, its crafty movements were faster and more agile. The lightning rat even employed deceptive movements to sneak up on its opponent. The battle lasted only about 10 minutes, even though the lightning rat was lingering between life and death. It was incredible that the lightning rat could achieve such a stunning progress within such a short period. Perhaps, after 3 days, the lightning rat's strength could advance rapidly. Suddenly, Su Ping was filled with anticipation. Finishing the quest was not entirely without hope. Come on, little guy. Su Ping patted the lightning rat on its little head. He stood up, ready to search for the next target. Tired? A feeling of reluctance came from the lightning rat. Su Ping was surprised. But recalling the arduous fight the lightning rat had put up to kill the giant insect, Su Ping felt he could empathize. Take some time to recover your strength first. Su Ping offered a kind smile. The lightning rat, who was still lying on the back of the giant insect, looked up with low spirits. It was suddenly seized by a strange feeling as it glanced at the smiling face that was moving in closer. Before the lightning rat could think, it felt a dull pain rushing in. Revive. Looking at the lightning rat that came into being again on the ground, Su Ping asked with a grin, "Has your strength recovered yet?" Su Ping had already noticed that every time after the lightning rat was brought back to life, it would return to its prime state without any signs of fatigue associated with excessive energy consumption from previous battles. Therefore, this was the best way to recover. The lightning rat's hair stood on end. This human smile was deeply engraved in its mind at this moment. Hiss. The lightning rat showed its teeth, as if warning Su Ping against such behavior. Su Ping put down the claw he harvested from that giant insect. The claw was indeed sharp. He was able to impale the lightning rat with just a bit of strength. The claw could be regarded as a handy weapon. There. Let's go. Su Ping stroked the lightning rat's head. The lightning rat ground its teeth ferociously. If it weren't for the restrictions of the contract, it would have bitten this master to death. 3 days later. A towering mountain in the thundercloud realm. Cloud and mist curled around the mountainside with steep hills and cliffs. The splendor and magnificence formed a landscape painting of the deserted land that was tranquil and beautiful. On an unassuming boulder, a couple of petty lives were engaged in a fierce battle of life and death. Hurry. Use Thunder Shadow Image to distract it. Circle around to its back from the side. Use Thunder Slash to strike its side. Su Ping was standing by the boulder to communicate and give instructions telepathically. 2 figures in front of him, one big, one small, were fighting an intense fight. The big one was a cockroach-shaped monster the size of an elephant. The quick and agile being was covered with a stone carapace in the color of lime and claws like sharp stone awls that grew out from its abdomen. This was a type of astral pet living in this land of boulders, and an Earth family astral pet that was rarely seen in the Thunder Cloud realm. For astral pets of the Thunder family, those from the Earth family were their arch-enemies. The small figure was the size of a regular domestic cat with purplish hair and electric arcs around its body. Its hair had wild curls like sharp needles. This was the lightning rat. Buzzing. Lightning surged. All of a sudden, the lightning rat charged toward the stone cockroach monster. Out of instinct, the stone cockroach monster chased after the lightning rat. However, right at this moment, a lighter purple flash whooshed by and appeared behind the stone cockroach monster. Soon, the stone cockroach monster felt something was off. The lightning rat that was covered in electric arcs was running forward, but that figure was getting fainter and fainter, until it was reduced to a half-transparent shadow formed by lightning. It was an afterimage. Abruptly, the stone cockroach monster sensed danger. It turned around quickly, only to see a ray of glaring purple light within its sight. The lightning rat jumped up high from the ground. Lightning was gathering in increasing density around it, gradually forming a sharp blade that had concentrated strength. PFF. The blade of lightning fell. The soft spot between the gaps of the side carapace of the stone cockroach monster could not withstand this cut. The stone cockroach monster was cut into 2. Green blood spilled out onto the boulder. Perfect. Su Ping snapped his fingers. The lightning rat was able to kill this astral pet of the Earth family that was a grade higher with only 1 life. The lightning rat was forging ahead by leaps and bounds, several times stronger than 3 days before. It was a fact. Just then, in his mind, he had received the prompt message from the system. The quest had been completed. I didn't know that we could do this within 3 short days. Su Ping exclaimed to himself. This was hardly imaginable. That being said, to achieve such an improvement, both the lightning rat and Su Ping had devoted considerable effort. They had experienced different ways of dying for over 100 times, and the lightning rat had even experienced over 1,000 deaths. Quest accomplished. Cultivation plane closing. Disconnecting host from the thundercloud realm. Removing host and pet's temporary contract. Prepare for return. In the next second, darkness fell into his eyes. When the light came back to his world, the familiar scenes of the pet store emerged before Su Ping, as if a lifetime had passed. Chapter 5, Claiming the Pet. Beginner's mission completed. Host interface unlocked. Pet store is officially open for business. Establish currency conversion module. Establish Chaos Spirit Pool for incubation module. Beginner mission rewards issued. Collect now. Su Ping came back to his senses after the familiar sounds of the system's prompt tones. His eyes sparkled upon hearing the mention of rewards. Collect, he said without demur. The host has gained elementary pet identification spell E. Pet identification spell? Su Ping waited for a few more seconds but heard no more prompt messages. He glared at the air in despair. Is that it? He exhausted himself in the 3 days of hellish torture and all he gained was a pet identification spell book? And it was elementary? With the Federal Illustrated Book for all pets, Su Ping deemed this reward of little value or interest. Such a skill could not be more worthless. The pet identification spell issued by this system can help you gain insight into millions upon millions of types of astral pets. Your illustrated book for pets cannot compare with this, the system gave a reply in a cold voice, clearly unsatisfied with Su Ping's complaint and resentment. Su Ping stood in amazement. To gain insight into millions upon millions of types of astral pets? In his memory, even the most authoritative and comprehensive illustrated book for pets issued by the Federation only recorded information of a few millions of types of astral pets, including many astral pets that had gone extinct. Was it true that the goods generated by a system had to be the best of the best? Su Ping's feeling of resentment disappeared in no time. While this reward was not the immediate strength enhancement he expected, it was a precious skill nonetheless. Additionally, in the future, if he could go to another ancient site like the Thundercloud Realm, he would be able to identify those ancient astral pets with this skill. After all, most of those astral pets had disappeared from people's lives and there weren't many records of them in the Federal Illustrated Book. Su Ping was choked up with emotions after having obtained a new skill and he was eager to test it. He looked around and suddenly remembered the lightning rat. Where is that little guy? Su Ping hurried to the pet room at the back. He saw that the lightning rat had fallen into a deep sleep in one of the ancient stalagmite arrays. The 3 days of hellish training had worn the lightning rat out. It fell into a sound sleep as soon as it returned to this familiar place. Compared with 3 days prior, not much had changed in the lightning rat's appearance. There were just a couple of more strands of dark purple hair mixed with the light purple strands, and its body was leaner than before. However, the faintly discernible gloomy and violent aura of a beast that was spreading out from the lightning rat was making the managarm in the other stalagmite array shiver in fear. It was obviously unsettled. Su Ping put his mind at ease after finding the lightning rat safe and sound. Although the contract had been ended and they could no longer exchange and communicate like before, he had become attached to this little guy after 3 days together. It was a pity that it was someone else's astral pet. He would have to return it someday. While Su Han was sighing, a prompt message suddenly popped out in his mind. Employ pet identification spell. Yes or no. Identify this little guy? Su Ping took a pause and selected yes. Lightning rat. Property, astral pet of the Thunder family. Rank, upper position of 1st grade. Combat strength, 3.6. Aptitudes, below average. Abilities mastered, lightning speed, Thunder Flash, Thunder Shadow Image, Thunder Slash, Thunder Outerwear. Su Ping was surprised. Thunder Flash? He saw Thunder Flash in the abilities mastered. Had the Lightning Rat learned this top-level special skill of the Thunder family? Su Ping was stunned. He didn't see the Lightning Rat employing the Thunder Flash for a second time in the battles later on. He had thought he was only having blurred visions. He didn't know that the Lightning Rat had indeed picked up this skill. How astonishing it was that a Lightning Rat of the lowest rank that could be spotted everywhere in the Federation had mastered the Thunder Flash that not even an astral pet of the Thunder family of the 7th or 8th grade could master easily. If he told people about this, they would think he had lost his mind. This little guy is many times more valuable. Su Ping calmed himself down, although his eyes were still glowing. A Lightning Rat that had mastered the Thunder Flash special skill would be even hundreds of times more valuable than its peers. Not to mention the Lightning Rat had learned other skills. Apart from the lightning speed that was common among all Lightning Rats, both the Thunder Slash and Thunder Shadow Image were a must for advanced astral pets. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to call a Lightning Rat a mythical creature when it was equipped with so many powerful skills. But there was something strange. In the column of aptitude, the Lightning Rat was rated below average. Why? Sensing the questions in Su Ping's mind, the system explained calmly. The evaluation of its aptitude is based on the comparison of the data from all Lightning Rats born since the beginning of the Endless Chaos Era to the present day. Host, you can trust the result. All Lightning Rats. Su Ping became speechless because of astonishment. Even the number of Lightning Rats born in the Federation every year would be beyond calculation, not to mention if they were to start counting since the Chaos Era in the distant past. If so, this Lightning Rat could already be considered formidable with a below-average aptitude. Su Yenjing looked up. She could already see the signage of that little pet store down the street, Pixie Pet Store. In sharp contrast to the gaily shining sun, Su Yenjing's mood was cloudy and terrible. She didn't expect that she would fall on evil days. She had been forced to a tight corner at the preliminary contest of the pet tournament. This was an annual grand event of the Academy. The students would display their strengths in this event. If someone could be favored by some astral pet masters during the tournament, they would be able to enjoy better tutoring and training. This could add brilliance in their resumes when the time came to join the astral pet team. However, for 3 rounds in a row, all she met were strong opponents that were highly popular. The result was that several battle pets she took such meticulous care of had all been wounded and could no longer fight. Would she be stumped at the preliminary contest? That was unacceptable to her. She had already asked her family to spend a fortune to invite an advanced pet healer to cure one of the battle pets. That being said, one battle pet was not enough. That was her ace in the hole. She had to have a battle pet that could be the power forward and that could lure out her opponent's ace pet. If it weren't for the fact that the Academy prohibited any pets that were contracted within a month to enter the tournament, she would have bought some pets at the last minute, even though that would inflict a great burden on her mind and even cause severe problems. Anyways, she had no other battled pets available, except for the Lightning Rat she had left at the store's pet boarding service. A very common low-rank Lightning Rat. Nothing special about it. She even wanted to give it up because this Lightning Rat could no longer satisfy her requirements. Faced with the recent opponents, the Lightning Rat would be heading to its doom. Fortunately, she was soft-hearted and did not remove the contract directly. So, currently, this Lightning Rat was the only other battle pet that could enter the field. The Lightning Rat was weaker, but she supposed it could be used to feel her opponents out. Anyone here? Su Yenying pushed the door open and entered the pet store. She threw a casual glance over the store. It was empty, as if the owner had moved. Is the store going out of business? Su Yenying though. Fortunately, she had come in time. Yes? Su Ping heard the voice and left the pet room at once. He saw a pretty girl standing in the store, looking around. Chapter 6, Awakening. Hi. Su Ping stepped over. She was a customer, so he had to treat her nicely and politely. Hi, I'm here to pick up my astral pet. The store owner had come. Su Yenying turned her looks away from the empty store and said to Su Ping, the lightning rat that I put here half a month ago. Is it doing okay? The master of the lightning rat? Su Ping was surprised. The memories related to this matter were dug out. Su Ping remembered at once. There was a strange look on his face. He couldn't help but throw more glances at this girl. Was she the luckiest girl? Su Ping felt uncomfortable since the lightning rat had to be returned to its original master. Part of the reason was that he had become attached to the lightning rat, and the other part was because he felt unwilling. After all, this was a super lightning rat that had mastered one of the 10 special skills. How could he just give it up like this? Well, he knew this little guy was someone else's in the first place. Su Ping felt dispirited by this and could only heave a few sighs. It is totally fine, better than fine. Come with me and settle the bills first, he said, lifelessly. Su Yenying was at a loss. Why did this caretaker sound strange? Was he upset? She seemed to have an idea. Don't worry. I came ahead of time, but I will pay you the foster fee as we discussed. I will pay you in full. Su Ping was not in the mood to talk to her. He took out the bill for the deposit. When he saw the digits, he felt another surge of heartache. He took a deep breath and tore the bill down slowly. He acted as if a piece of flesh had been cut off from him, and his voice was laden with a deep feeling of grief. Minus the deposit you paid, you have to give another 108. His voice was shaking and he was almost choking. 108. Only 108. An astral pet that had learned one of the 10 special skills was going to be given away at an appallingly low price. Well, Su Yenying found that something was off about the owner, but she could not put it in words. She settled the bill quickly. Here you go. Can you show me to my astral pet? She was dying to see the lightning rat, and to check if it was safe and sound. After all, some pet stores would make mistakes when they were feeding the pets, which could lead to sickness. While those events were rare, she could not see such unfortunate incidents happening to her at this critical juncture. Su Ping heard the prompt tone of the money entering his account. His mouth twitched. Eventually, he stood up and turned around. Wait here, he said. He left the counter and stepped into the pet room slowly. As he looked at the lightning rat that was napping in the stalagmite array, recalling the battles they fought side by side for the past 3 days, he felt reluctant to be parted with it. Come on. Time for you to go home. Su Ping sighed and picked up the lightning rat gently. The lightning rat was startled and woke up. When it saw it was Su Ping, the lightning rat relaxed gradually and closed its eyes, falling back to sleep. During the 3 days of desperate and cruel training, only when the lightning rat was with Su Ping could it feel secure enough to sleep. This was a force of habit and trust. Su Ping produced a forced smile. He took some deep breaths to calm himself down, and then he stepped out of the pet room. My lightning rat. Su Yenying's eyes glowed as she saw Su Ping coming out with the lightning rat in his arms. She knew this was her lightning rat the moment she saw it. While the lightning rat's appearance seemed to be slightly different from before, the bond shared by flesh and blood that came from the contract could not be wrong. However, she found something strange. When she first came into the pet store, she did not feel the presence of the lightning rat from their contract, as if something had blocked it. She had no time to ponder about it. She hurried forward and took over the lightning rat from Su Ping's hands. The lightning rat was startled again. The lightning rat's drowsy eyes glowed once it saw that it was Su Yenying. It threw itself into her arms happily and squeaked coquettishly non-stop. Su Ping stood by their side. The happy sounds made by the lightning rat gave him the strange urge to strangle it to death. This punk, it only knows how to squeak coquettishly when its real master is here. The lightning rat never did this with him. But Su Ping was well aware that the emotional bond sustained by the contract would exert a great influence on the astral pets. That was why the majority of the astral pets would never betray their masters, they would even sacrifice their lives for them. Come on. Let's go home. Inside, Su Yenying was glad that the lightning rat was still intact and was just a bit skinnier. She had heard about how some unethical pet stores would cheat on pet food to make more money. She didn't want to look further into this. Just as long as the lightning rat was healthy. Otherwise, to cure its illness would take a long time. Su Yenying patted its head once she placed the lightning rat on the ground. She didn't even bother to look at Su Ping, who was standing by her side. Inside, she had given a negative rate about this store. She would never come back again. The lightning rat began to bounce around Su Yenying happily once on the ground. It was over the moon, since it had not seen its master in ages. Su Yenying pushed the door open and left. Soon, the girl and the pet vanished from Su Ping's sight. Su Ping looked away as the lightning rat bounced about and disappeared. He heaved a sigh. Right then, the system suddenly sent a message. Detecting money entering the account. Shop opened. Beep. Money has been converted into energy points. Su Ping was stunned. Before he could check, he heard another message. Quest, Chaos Spirit Pool for Incubation, is ready. The host must breed a pet that belongs to himself within a week. Reward for quest accomplished, a random skill book for battle pet warriors. Punishment for quest failed, downgrade the host's rate. When the rate is below the passing line, the host will be erased. A skill book for battle pet warriors? Su Ping was confused. He wasn't a battle pet warrior at all, and the force of the original core did not exist in his cells. The host can purchase Awakening Potion in the shop to be qualified as a battle pet warrior, the system alerted him. Su Ping was amazed. Then, he gasped. Awakening Potion? He was destined to be a common man from birth. Was it possible for him to change his life? Could he become a battle pet warrior? Something had to be spelled out. Innate skills were determined at birth. Only a tiny minority could be the exception, those who could awaken their abilities later in their lives. But there wasn't even 1 in a million. Of course, it was said that the state had developed some potions made from special plants found in space, and such potions could greatly increase the common people's chances of awakening. Still, such potions were priced at a level that only the rich could afford. Anyone without millions upon millions would not even get a chance. As for those vastly wealthy people, who would take the risk of becoming a battle pet warrior to struggle in the front lines at the frontier, apart from satisfying their curiosities for a moment? Where is the shop? Su Ping could not wait to see this awakening potion. He was eager to acquire it. After all, whether in strength or survival abilities, there was a world of difference between battle pet warriors and the general public. A simple case in point would be Su Ping and his sister Su Lingyu. Ever since Su Lingyu joined the Academy for Astral Pets at the age of 12, Su Ping had never, not even once, gained the upper hand in close combat. He had always been defeated easily. Therefore, over the years, he had learned to use his brain instead of brawn, unless necessary.